This is, like this is
Welcome to them boy.
them boys. I'm here joined by MacDaddy, me MAC, Mac Delicious, and
What's up?
we're going to be discussing the fight of the century, the weigh-ins. Mac is a UFC fan. He thinks that Floyd Mayweather is gonna lose, but we all know that's not true. We know that more than likely what's gonna happen is that McGregor is gonna, kick his ass, I mean, it's just true. I know. Nah, there's no way in hell McGregor's gonna win.
Alright, well listen. I watched the weigh-ins and you didn't. What I seen in McGregor was someone that was so confident in his own abilities. This dude is a psychopath. When they did the face-off, that's all he did was yell and insult Mayweather. He's like, you're done. You're stupid for doing this. He probably even said he was gonna kill him in this boxing match, right? And he just looked so confident. Not only that, Floyd's been trying to get underneath McGregor's skin for weeks now. The latest rumor that came out yesterday was that Paulie Malignaggi, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, he sparred against Conor McGregor, and there's a big heated battle between them two now. Like, they both hate each other. So yesterday, a video was released of Floyd and Paulie together in Floyd's gym, and pretty much saying that I sent Paulie to the camp to spy on McGregor, which everybody, if the only people that believe that are dumb people. Like, if they say, wow, man, he really did something like that, they're dumb. Because two reasons why. Well, actually there's only one reason why that didn't happen. Because if he did that, that shows fear. That shows Floyd is afraid of Conor McGregor. If he actually had to send a spy to a guy that's never had one professional or even amateur boxing match in his whole entire life, that shows fear of Conor McGregor. So by him trying to get under Conor McGregor's skin, saying, "Hey, I know what you're going to do," it pretty much showed that he's afraid of Conor. Floyd's afraid of Conor. And now at the weigh-ins, when they had to face off, everybody they were yelling at. Well, when Conor was yelling at Floyd didn't say something. He just stared straight. He didn't stare at Conor. He stared through Conor. He kind of blanked out and stuff. So he's not really, he didn't really take, to me, he hasn't really been taking it serious. And I think that's another downfall of his. But what the biggest tell of the whole entire thing was, it didn't look it, but Floyd, he wanted to get out of there. Like, he did not want to be face to face with Conor. The reason why I say that is, if you watch it, all he was doing was swaying. It's a sign of nervousness, a sign of, like, I just want to get out of here. And he's had that throughout the world tour they did in July last month. He let Conor be the alpha male. Like, he cowered to Conor McGregor. And why would you do that? Like, if you were so confident that, you can beat this guy that never boxed, he's a bum, he's this, he's that, but yet you're gonna, like, every single time, like, Conor, like, looked at you, like, he couldn't look Conor in the eyes whatsoever, right? He didn't look Conor in the eyes, but when he did, Conor got up, got in his aggressive posture, and Floyd literally cowered away. Like, he'd walk on the separate side of the stage, he'd squat down or something, or was like trying to, like, just be as small as possible, get away, or go with his group of bodyguards, because he knows, he feels safe with them. So I honestly think that Conor got in his head. Like, the fact that there's not the one person that ever told Floyd, if I really wanted to, I can kill you in this fight. Like, literally, Conor McGregor could kill Floyd Mayweather. If he wanted to go full heel and lose all his purse in this fight, all he would have to do is just, like, grab Floyd and turn his ass around and choke him to an inch of his life. And I think once Conor said that to
Floyd seems to know that he probably could. Like, that does to me sound like he's scared. At least, like, he knows that, like, if this were a real fight, he would get fucked.
Yeah. But yeah, like, well, that's the thing, though. He was like, well, I'm gonna come at Connor, like I'm gonna be an aggressive fighter, blah blah blah. But like in the interview, you can tell like he doesn't believe that he's gonna do that. He's just saying it to get buys. But and when like questions were asked about like the possibility of losing, like you can see in his face that it has crossed his mind that he might be knocked out by Conor McGregor. It's in his mind, and for him being so overconfident on himself, like he shouldn't have that, you know, like it shouldn't be. He shouldn't even have that like thought in his mind. I mean, yeah, it's a fight, anything can happen, but if you're so like if you're gonna call him a bum and all this and that, you shouldn't be like, oh, he's not gonna knock me out. He's never boxed. Like, I think Conor got in his head, and I think tonight at the weigh-in he definitely got under his skin just by the way he was like acting, and because of that, I think Conor can make something happen, but it has to be early in the fight. I predict within the first 8 rounds, but within the first 8 rounds knockout. But it's just what people don't understand about this is if you talk to someone about boxing, like someone that knows boxing, that watches boxing, that follows boxing, and you try to argue with them about this fight, they're like, well, that's not boxing. Conor McGregor's not a boxer. He's not going to come in there like a boxer. And that's not a good thing. Because it's not like Conor McGregor does not know how to fight whatsoever. You don't go into the UFC and become a two different weight division champion and not know how to defend yourself or fight someone. The fact that people are like, well, he's not a boxer, you know, he's not gonna be like a traditional boxer in the way that Floyd is and all these other great boxers are, and I think that's the deciding factor. Floyd won't know these angles that Conor's gonna come in. He's gonna have so many different ranges to deal with, because Conor's gonna switch from a karate style to a taekwondo style. Then he's gonna go southpaw, orthodox. Like there's just so many different ways. And then the range, because he's in that karate stance, because he's in that taekwondo stance, like Floyd's gonna have to try to come closer to him, and that's where you don't want to be with Conor. You don't want to be like chest to chest with him, head. Like you don't, because that's just that's where he lives. Like that's his bread and butter. It's up close, personal in the UFC. Like you're not gonna be able to do that. And where Floyd wants to be in is like when their lead feet are like by each other, then a little bit farther away. Where Conor wants to be is that close up, like chest to chest, and then the farthest away you can be possible while being still effective in a boxing match, which is a very offensive positioning. So that's like the two ranges are gonna decide this factor as well. I believe with the stance that Conor's gonna bring into the fight, it's gonna be hard for Floyd to get to where he needs to go to be more effective. But it's gonna be very beneficial for Conor because of that. I don't know, like it's an interesting fight. I just can't stand the people that say that it's a pointless fight, it's a dumb fight, like this shouldn't even be happening. It's a joke. It's not a joke. Like when you have MMA and you have boxing, like, and you have Floyd, which is the king of boxing, Conor is the king of UFC, and they start calling each other out, you're gonna want to see that fight. Like it's the two alpha males in both sports. Like
it is fascinating. Like that's why everybody's excited for it. It's a reason why people are like, "Yo, this shit's awesome."
Yeah, like I got in an argument with my grandpa today about it. He's like, "No, why people are like you're the reason why like they're making money." I was like, "No, it's not people like me. It's just why wouldn't you want to see it? It's like it's the biggest fight." And my past like, "Well, one's 40 years old, the other one's not a boxer. What's the point?" I was like, "Well, because Floyd's still relevant in boxing. If he wanted to, he can go out and still box because he'll just use the defensive style." Honestly, Floyd hasn't taken much damage in his 21 year career. He could probably box till he's 50 if he really wanted to, if he stayed in his defensive style. Granted, he'd get slower and a little bit weaker, which I think his age is going to be a very big factor.
But you know, there's no way Floyd is going to go in close to him.
No.
You know that he's going to play it very safe. Like he's going to play it so fucking safe, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but the bad thing is he went on national TV and said, "I have to come to Conor Like, I have to go to him to make this a fight, because the Pacquiao fight didn't live up to the potential. I don't think he's going to do it. No one does. No one thinks he's going to do it, because that's going to be the best way for him to lose. Like, if he wants to sit there and actually like exchange with Connor. Connor has a very strong chin. You can see it by his fights with Nate Diaz. Both fights, like, he took some shots. They both took shots. I'm not saying that Floyd doesn't have a chin, but we don't really know, because he's never really gotten hit, like solidly hit in the face and the chin, like, so you don't know. He might be able to, like, the punches that he ate in his younger days. Well, that's a different story. Do you think a 41-year-old can take a clean punch from a 29-year-old KO artist with 8-ounce gloves when Conor McGregor is used to 4-ounce gloves? I don't think that's really a possibility. I think the biggest factor in this whole entire fight is the age of Floyd. He might still have the foot speed, the hand speed and stuff, but I don't think he has the strength that he has. The foot speed, yeah, he might have it still. It might be slightly not there. But his age is going to be the biggest factor in this fight. I don't know. It's just really interesting. I had one more point. I forget what it was.
It's definitely worth the money. Like, me and my friend figuring out who's gonna pay for it, but like, we're definitely gonna see it tomorrow, just because it's an experience, you know. Like, it really is. It's like a once in a lifetime fight. That's why people are excited. Like, the amount of celebrities you're gonna see at that fight is gonna be amazing. Remember how many people were at the Pacquiao fight and shit? That's gonna be so fascinating to see people like that. Just like, oh shit, I can't wait for it. It's fascinating.
Dana White said yesterday that they're right on par to match the Pacquiao fight.
They're gonna surpass it.
They're definitely gonna surpass it. But that's just what they had with the numbers they've had so far. They're still waiting for the digital numbers to come in, because this is the first time a boxing match is like gonna be, you can be bought digitally, and then they haven't got numbers from Canada and some other countries. You know, Canada in Toronto, even, like, that's a high Irish population, so you probably got the whole entire city of Toronto buying this fight. You got Montreal probably buying it, Quebec,
dude, that's where the number is going to come from. That's the reason why they're so, like, I can't believe they didn't stream it last time. More and more people who are going to watch this fight are going to watch it streaming than they are on cable TV. No one has cable. People will be watching it through the Showtime app. That's ingenious for them, because they're going to get so much more money for this.
Who thought of that? Was Dana White, because they know how to do that. Dana White does that for the UFC every event. Not even the big ones, like the fight night ones and stuff on Friday nights and their little TV shows that they have. But
I mean, a lot of my friends don't have cable, so this opens them up to be able to watch it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I can live without cable. What I want when it comes to cable is a thing where I can watch hockey games, and I know there's things you can buy to watch hockey games, but that's the only thing I watch cable for. I can watch fights online if I really wanted to. Probably cheaper online. I know if you go on PlayStation, they have that live event. Last time I bought a live event UFC fight, it was $40. So, I mean, there's just so many different ways to watch this fight, and I definitely believe I'm gonna say the final buy number, because I know that Pacquiao is I want to say either 4.5 or 4.9. I'm going to say this fight's going to reach 6 to 6.5 million buys, and
I bet so,
that's
dude.
A lot. And I heard the gate already is at 70 million. So this is a high revenue fight.
What is the gate? What are you talking about?
I don't know what the gate is. I think that's what the money is being spent, maybe by ticket prices. The ticket prices, I think they made $70 million so far, which is almost as what Conor McGregor is making in this fight. So I mean, people want to see this fight. It's definitely, and it's all because of the unknown of Conor McGregor. Like, if Floyd was just boxing another, I can't say no-name boxer, but like, this another boxer. This pay-per-view, his pay-per-view would probably reach, I don't know, 1 million to 2 million buys. Like, Conor McGregor is the reason why this is the way it is. It's the unknown. Like, shit, you don't know what can happen with Conor McGregor because you've never seen him box before, but you know he can fight. It's not like he can't fight, which is the biggest thing. And the point I was going to make at the weigh-ins, Conor came in at 153, right? Floyd came in at 149, and the stat that I saw, Floyd is 3-0 at fights at, I think it's at 150 pounds or above, right? So he hasn't had a lot of experience. I mean, he has experience in the 154 weight division, a little bit higher, but 3-0 is not like saying he's an expert in this weight class. Conor McGregor fought someone and beat someone at a 170 weight class, and he's going to come in around 170, while Floyd is going to stay 149 to 146. He might lose some weight, and he might just stay the same. So Conor McGregor is going to have almost a 20-pound weight advantage on Floyd, which is a negative and a positive. Floyd, he won't be as fast as Floyd, but if he catches Floyd if Floyd's at 149 and Conor reaches 170, 168, somewhere around that range, like, he's going to hurt Floyd. Like, he might break the dude's jaw. Like, and that's an over-exaggeration, obviously, but he will connect. If he connects with him clean, watch out. The fight is going to take a turn for Conor. Like, it's going in Conor's favor if that's the case. But with him being that weight and Floyd being his weight, Conor will be able to eat punches. Like, it's not going to be anything. Like, I think his name was Victor Ortiz, something like that. He's a boxer. He sparred with Floyd a few months ago, and Floyd hit him with 4 right straights in a row, and he said it didn't even faze him. So imagine what it would, like. It won't faze Conor, and Floyd's calling up for 100%. He's going to 100% knock out Conor McGregor. That's a bold statement when you haven't knocked anybody out. Cleanly knocked someone out since 1999, in about 20 years. Yeah, he had a knockout in 2009, but it was a sucker punch knockout. But he's not known for his knockout power. Conor McGregor is. And the fact that Conor McGregor literally calls out, says, listen, if Floyd takes a step back, I'm going to win this fight, because he already said he wants to exchange with me. Whoever takes the first step back is going to lose this fight. And if Floyd doesn't live up to his potential, the potential of what he said about doing in this fight, I think it's just going to add more fuel to Conor, and he's going to be like, all right, I'll just come to you. You're just going to keep backing up to him in the corner, and I'm going to beat you up. Because Conor in MMA, he backs people up to the fences. That's what he does, and that's where he excels. Floyd, he likes to go towards the ropes. So, I mean, when it comes to actually striking, if Floyd goes to the rope, I don't know if that's a good idea, because that's where Conor does most of his damage in MMA. It's people are saying that it's a 1 to 10% chance of Conor McGregor winning. I say it's about a 30 to 40% chance. That's not me being biased, that's kind of me being realistic, because Conor does know how to fight. I mean, yeah, it's a boxing match, and he's not going to kick or anything, or he doesn't have to worry about all the takedowns, but he's an excellent striker. He's a very accurate striker. He knows when to throw the big hits, throw the big punches and everything like that. So, I mean, I give Conor a better chance. My biased opinion is 100% Conor McGregor knockout. But my realistic, if you're going to look on paper and look at the history of Floyd, I would have to say Floyd, 12-round decision. But I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say my prediction is Conor by knockout by round 8. That's what I think, just from what I've seen, what I've observed, and there's new footage that kind of leaked in the show that I watched yesterday about Conor McGregor. When it came to the Pauly fight, they leaked a little bit more footage, and he looked extremely good. And I think those were early round shots. Like, so the knockdown that he had on Pauly was, I think they said round 11, maybe round 12. So that's when they were both like tired, and he still knocked him down. Conor looked good in early rounds too against that fight, and Pauly is no joke. He's a two weight class champion in boxing, so he knows how to box, even though he's been retired and well out of shape. You can say that same thing for Floyd. He's been retired for 2 years. He hasn't fought. I saw it was like 700. He hasn't fought in 715 days, and he doesn't train, and he doesn't. You know, he hasn't been training these 2 years. He just started training.
He doesn't train?
No, he just restarted training 2 months ago when the fight was announced. But he barely trained. He wasn't really in the gym training for this fight, and I think that's the overconfidence that he has, because he's like, oh shit, I'm Floyd Mayweather. I don't have to train for him. I think that's what's gonna come back to haunt him in this fight. Like, Conor McGregor is taking this fight serious. Like, he wants to beat Floyd. He's determined. He thinks he will. Floyd's like, well, I'm gonna go worry about my strip clubs. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna estimate from just the footage I saw from the All Access. I think Floyd probably spent about 20 hours in the gym throughout these past 3 months, 2 months.
No way. He had to spend more than that, dude.
If you watch All Access, he's hardly ever in the gym. Like, Conor's in the gym every day. They wake up, they go to the gym, they train, like they do pad work, cardio. They go eat, take a nap, wake up, do the same thing all over again. They've been doing that every day for 2 or 3 months now. Actually, I gotta say, they've been doing it hard like this for 2 and 3 months, but he's been training for this fight since January, December. Because he called out Floyd and he knew it was going to happen, because honestly, he's the MMA's, I can't call him a pretty boy, but the godchild of MMA, of the UFC. Like, whatever he wants, he will get, because he's the reason why they bring in a lot of money. People want to go see him fight. So I knew once Conor said, you know what, I want to fight, and he started training, I knew it was going to happen, but he's been training a lot longer for this fight than Floyd has. He looked actually like in great shape after the weight cut. Like, he didn't look fatigued. He looked a little skinny, because I'm used to seeing him at 170 some pounds, and he was at 153. But he's gonna get that weight back on. But he looks like he is ready for a fight. He is ready to shock the world. He just there's a confidence in him. When he fought Aldo, he said he was in a state of zen. And I watched what he looked like at that press conference when he said that, and I look at the press conference he had yesterday, and he looks the exact same way. He looks that determined that he did back, a year and a half ago, 2 years. He looked the same way then as he does now, and when you see a determined Conor McGregor, I think you should really watch out. Like, that dude's a man on a mission. Like, it would probably have to take an army for him to stop him to get what he wants. So, I mean, I don't know. Floyd's been saying that you can't have the fans fight for you, but I think Conor, he strives off the fans, the energy of the fans. He knows he has the whole entire nation of Ireland behind his back, regardless if you're from Ireland, if you have 5% of Irish blood in you. He knows that he has them, like, pushing him forward, and that's another. There's just so many factors. Like, it's a pretty scary thought, you know, like, to have like a nation behind you against someone that really no one wants to see Floyd win. Honestly, like, there's really no one that's like, wow, I really want to see Floyd beat up Conor McGregor. No one wants that. Everybody is behind Conor, but thinking with their heads, they're like, well, there's just no way that's going to happen. So they got to go with, I think Floyd's going to win. but people are behind Connor 100%, and I think that bothers Floyd because he's used to be the one. He's used to being the center of attention. Now Connor's the center of attention. So Connor is in his head, and he's definitely under his skin. Floyd tried to do the same thing to Connor, but Connor's just so confident in himself that it's really, really, really hard to get in his head and under his skin. So I mean, it's going to be an interesting fight tomorrow. Hopefully not my prediction, just the outcome that I want's right, because I'd probably be the happiest person in the world. I'm one of the biggest Conor McGregor fans. Oh, man. But, yeah, I guess you can go ahead now. I talked probably for about 20 minutes straight.
That's good, dude. But yeah, here's what I think. I think, honestly, the thing that is exciting people is that they don't know which way it's gonna go. It could go this way, yeah, it could go that way. It's fascinating, it really is. Conor McGregor could win, and if he does win, I mean, more power to actually see it, It would be totally worth it just to see, who actually does win, it would be fascinating.
Right. I don't know, man. It's definitely spectacle, I can tell you that.
I mean, it's gonna be one of the best fights of the century, bar none. Like, that's for sure.
For sure. Oh, I sent you a post of the live stream on Facebook, of the weigh-in on Facebook, by the way.
Alright, sweet. Yeah, for some reason the broadcast is not enough to actually broadcast gameplay, but it don't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah, I think you might. That weigh-in definitely showed me that this fight is going to live up to the hype. Like, I don't know what it is, but this fight is going to, it's going to satisfy everybody. Regardless, if Floyd wins, the only way it's going to satisfy people, which is really a small percentage of people that really want Floyd to win, if he knocks out Connor. But they don't want a knockout on Connor early, though, because then everyone's like, well, why did I spend $100 for a one-round fight or a 2 or 3 round fight? But if Connor knocks out Floyd in 1 round, literally, it doesn't matter. Because honestly, there's more pressure on Floyd in this fight than there is on Connor. But I don't know. I'm just really pumped.
Yeah, dude, everybody wants their money's worth. That is for sure.
For sure. Well, I would be happy if Connor finished him off in 10 seconds. I wouldn't care that I spent $100 for a 13-second fight. That's like, I mean, people are always, when it came to Ronda Rousey, people spent $60 for that and kind of like, why would I do that? I know she's gonna win, but you don't know. She got murked. She got knocked the fuck out with a leg.
I know. She had to retire too, didn't she? She had to actually retire.
She had to. Well, she didn't have to. I think she just didn't know how to deal with a loss. But with this, you just honestly, like, yeah, you can really have strong, like, opinions. Like, okay, like, say Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo fought again. You can be like, yeah, you know what? I think Conor McGregor.
Content, go to www.demboys.podbean.com.
For more podcasts every Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Your discretion is advised.